Hi again. The Philippines' brash-talking President Rodrigo Duterte is insulted and threatened to leave the United Nations in response to criticism of his approach to tackling drug crime. His outburst was later put into context, though, by the country's foreign minister in quite a light-hearted manner.
You know, United Nations, if you can say one bad thing about me, I can give you 10. But repercussions, I don't give a shit to them.
The statement of the President is a statement expressing profound disappointment and frustration.
I do not want to insult you. But maybe we'll just have to decide to separate from the United Nations.
And it is not any statement that should indicate a threat to leave the United Nations.
But there's more. It wasn't just the UN that came under fire in Duterte's latest outpouring against critics. He also criticised the killings of black men by US police.
Protect the integrity and preserve the people of the Philippines.
At the risk of gun law, sir?
It can happen. It happens in America. They're shooting the blacks there. It shows on TV. It shows on TV. What's the difference between America and the Philippines? When you bomb Syria and Iraq and you kill communities and you kill children and old people and hospital, what is it? And why is it that United States is not doing anything? I do not read anybody in that stupid body complaining about the stench there of that.
Well, the Philippines president asking the question there, but the US has yet to react to those statements. However, it's not the first time Duterte's lashed out at the US. Sometimes he's even resorted to using obscene language of late. The US tends to have little to say in response, has to be said.
Kausap namin si Kerry. Okay naman siya kasi nag-away kami nung ambasador niya. Yung ambasador yung buisit ako dyan.
I think what we're seeking is perhaps a better understanding of why that statement was made.
So that Kerry pumunta dito, nagkain kami, iniwanan pa kami ni si Delphi ng $33 million. So okay to bastusin natin uli para magreglo itong buang na ito.
We look forward to working closely with his administration going forward. The Philippines is an ally and a partner in the region.
According to the State Department, the Philippines are the main US ally in the region. The country is also home to 5 US bases, and apparently there's a multi-billion trade set of relations between the countries. Well, Jurugambar is a current affairs commentator. Let's see what he's got to say about this war of words, at least coming from one side anyway. Why do you think the Philippine president has used such a strong and, has to be said, offensive language when referring to what the US is saying and is an apparently close ally?
Well, despite being the ally, I think Mr. Duterte is a smart man. He's a tough man. He's straightforward. He's outspoken. But at the same time, he's very smart. He knows clearly it is the U.S. who needs most in terms of their bilateral relationship. That means that the U.S. needs the Philippines more than Manila needs the United States. Especially in the current situation, in security situation in South China Sea, the U.S. needs Philippines to confront China. The U.S. needs to use the Philippine case in The Hague to challenge China's claim in the South China Sea, to basically challenge the rights of China. Philippines is the best partner here in this case. So despite all the rough languages, it is not the first time Mr. Duterte used a strong language to describe UN or the United States.
But I suppose as far as Washington's concerned, it's one thing when it comes to trying to tackle the huge drug machinery, the huge drug trade in his country, in the Philippines. Another thing when he starts waving a finger at Washington regarding the killing of black people and criticising Washington, do you think we'll have any strong reaction to that latter part?
Well, I don't think so. I think the U.S. will continue to somehow humor the Philippine president, basically. Last time when he used a strong language to describe, basically, to landlock the U.S. ambassador to Manila, there's only a mild response from the State Department. For this time around, probably more or less the same, because they know he's outspoken, they need Manila. At the same time, they know he's elected. His approval rating is high. It's skyrocketed high in this country. He's elected exactly because his effectiveness in crackdown on the drugs and the crime issues and also the drug issue, people have high expectations from the president. So he's simply saying that stop this interference, stop lecturing the Manila, stop lecturing the presidency. So I think he's speaking for a lot of developing countries.
There's another element here, while you're on the line, just get your thoughts on. The Philippines has got a questionable human rights record, yet the US seems to have little to say about that. Why is that?
Well, the thing is, like, for the Philippine communist voters in Philippines, in Manila, they would give their president the time, basically, to do what is necessary and what he needs to do to crack down on the drug issue. Every country is different. The problem with Washington, I think, for a lot of developing countries is like the country use, the human rights issue, democracy issue, election issue, to lecture the third developing countries, leadership governments about what you need to do, what you need to do. But things like for Mr. Duterte, who is very tough, he simply doesn't buy that. He refuses to buy that kind of lecturing.
mengejutkan, current affairs commentator, thanks for giving us your thoughts on this story on Benarati International today.
My pleasure.